Hello, everyone. I am your narrator, the Ghost, here to give you part 2 of what if female Deku was Ella from Team Fortress 2. In the last episode, we saw some of her combat, combat prowess and strategy making plans. Now, yes, I do understand before that Ella, in the game is a defense character. But in the show, I will not only be using her as a defense person, but also as an attacker. So, yeah. Also, I also understand in the game that with certain characters, they can only use a certain type of gun, or guns. I understand that. Like with Ella, with her pistol, she can't choose between two or any other gun. She has that one gun and one gun only. Or like her, submachine gun and shotgun. She can only choose between those two. Same thing goes with the other characters. But seeing this is not technically a video game and we can be a little lenient with the weapons, she can use any gun she would really like, but obviously she still has to go through the whole process of carrying the weapon, carrying the ammunition. So, yes, she's not going to be it's not like she's going to have a bazooka over her shoulder, ready to go whenever she wants to. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this what if. Now, this what if starts, as I said in the last video, not weeks, but a couple days have already gone by. They've done already a couple of tests. Izumi has stayed in the not barracks, but stayed in the dorm rooms, and, well, they were finally finished constructed about 2 days ago. A day after they had their whole fight. And then Aizawa asked them to all join, to go to their rooms and choose one out and pick one. If they're allowed to, seeing they are still, one, young kids, two, maybe their parents don't want them to be there, and three, actually I don't have anything for three, but anyways, you get the point. Either way, everything still happens the same. They all get rooms and they find out Izumi was already there. They asked her, and she would explain that she was having family issues, and she was allowed to come in early, with a room already, with one of the few rooms available to her. And that is also where they will be, or at least the females. The males will be in a different area. They all, with all of them kind of like, oh, all right, and then asking her what, family thing happened, and she would just state that it's family business, none of their business. And with that tone, she made it clear that, yeah, that conversation with her family was done. Anyways, after everyone packs up, they all do the whole thing of, let's go look at each other's rooms. And they went to the boys first, Bakugo being the very rock type person, Ida very studious, it was nice, Todoroki with a nice clean room. And also everyone, yes, I know I'm adding the dorm room in early, but I don't care. And, they go to Minetta's room, which was immediately burned to the ground. Joking, not joking. I want to say I'm joking, but I really want them to burn the fucking thing down, because Minetta. They go to Denki's room. It's very, it has some music. Like, it's a very mixture. It's karate. You can see the gown, a karate gown in it. But you can also see some music, a desk, stuff like that. A bed, stuff like that. Momo, the oversized bed, a lot of oversized things, drawers, cabinets, stuff like that. They go through, and it finally is Izumi's turn. And when they go in, some of them are shocked at what they see. They immediately see the bed. It looks to be very comfortable. It's a single bed. Not double like most of the students, but a single. On the side of it, there was a little coffee table. Not coffee table, but a a drawer which had her gun on top of it, loaded, no doubt. They could tell because there was a Meg in it. With Ida proceeding to point out, asking if those were legally owned or were they school owned. Immediately, Izumi says that it's my part of my hero costume or part of my hero equipment, but they do allow me to have it on school grounds. She would state calmly. Ida was sufficient. That was a sufficient answer for him, so he said, "All right." But her proceeding to say, "But to make you feel better," goes into her room, takes the gun, and proceeds to take the mag out, and proceeds to empty the chamber by pulling the handle, the cock back, and immediately proceeds to, a bullet goes flying in the air, catches it, puts it on it, making the bullet face upwards, and then putting the gun down, saying, "Happy?" They all were happy, and then can't speak. Then Izumi proceeded to point out some certain things, a workbench that seemed to have her SMG and her SMG on it. That seemed to be partly not. That seemed to be partly like different parts of it were taken off, like the handle or the grip, the custom barrel, the red dot sight, and then you can see more internal components. But yeah, as well as some other things like a sniper rifle on top. With them asking if is that her own? Because we didn't get to see that in the, what was it called? In the Hero vs. Villain session. And she said, "No, I didn't bring it. Why would I bring a sniper rifle in the corridor fight?" Proceeding to say that very bluntly and, obviously, and, all of them just like, yeah. And then they proceed to, and then after her room, it was done. She was the last person left. They went through the boys and then girls, so yeah. After that, they all went their suited ways, but Mina proceeded to stay. Actually, no, not Mina. Momo. She, or not stayed, but I should say they all left, and then with Momo just going back to her room, and then eventually went to Izumi's room, asking if she could come in, and Izumi said sure. Coming in, she saw Izumi proceeded into, this seemed to be a tank top that said, Deadeye on it with a symbol of a scope symbol on it. With her wearing just some jeans, and she seemed to have wearing gloves, white gloves. You could tell with her gloves somewhat being a little dirty due to her fiddling around with her gun. She would come in, starting to take off her gloves and ask, "So, what you need?" She'd ask if she would like to talk about her. She was just curious about some things, if that's okay. Izumi proceeded to say, sure. Grabbing something from, "What would you like to know?" she would state. And Mom would ask, "So you have family issues?" Is it her saying, "I'm not going to talk about them." "Well, you should. You should. It would be good for you." With her saying, "I know you." Then Mom was saying, "I know you have issues with Bakugo, but from my brief hearing of he pissed you off right after your father died. I can understand why you're mad at him, but why are you? That doesn't explain all your loneliness." With Izumi sighing and proceeding to, say, "It's not just him. When my father died, it took a part of my mom that made her my mom," she would state. She was still raised me as much as she could, but she was more of a caregiver, feeding me, driving me to places, but she was not my mother. She didn't act like it. Just like it was a necessary thing to do. She never taught me how to do about anything. I had to learn that all on my own. She loved me. That's the reason why I came here early too. because my mother didn't approve of me becoming a hero due to my, with Momo saying, quirklessness. Yeah, Izumi would state. But, honestly, but my father believed I could be a hero, so I will do my best for him. With her saying, you seem to be mad whenever your father's brought up too. How did he die? With Izumi explaining that he was in a plane crash. He worked abroad, but was able to come back every once in a while, she would state. Anyways, so, why do you want to be a hero, Momo? With Momo saying, what do you mean? Come on. You could be running a multi-billionaire company at this. You could be most likely learning to be the owner of a multi-billionaire company, maybe soon to be trillionaire. Seeing how their prices, or seeing how much they're getting money now. They're saying, how did you? I know tech, and I know tech and how much it costs. They have made great reaches in the engineering communities. They're the smartest people who know how to make hero gear. Hell, my grenades are from them, requested by Nezu. So, yeah. Mom was saying, well, I don't know. Was Izumi saying, what do you mean you don't know? Did you just spin a wheel, pick something? Well, they're saying, no. Slightly chuckling with that comment. But other saying, I'm not sure I'm ready to have that kind of responsibility. Well, they're saying, with Izumi saying, for what it's worth, you're probably one of the, best and respectful students in our class. Which is saying something, seeing I really am only comparing everyone to Bakugo, she would state. With Momo slightly chuckling, saying, then I must be half flying colors. With Izumi saying, of course. Her chuckling, but is there anything else? Saying, no, if you ever want to talk to someone, I'm here. Izumi would slightly smile, saying, thanks. And you're right. Talking about it helped. Momo would leave, and Izumi would go back to fiddling around with her SMG. The next day, they're set to be doing a hero test again. They were all, kind of shocked seeing 2 hero tests in, actually no. I'll say that by the time they're all moved in, it's about the next week, in the middle of the next week on Wednesday. So it's already been a little bit of time since the UA test. But anyways, Aizawa proceeded to say that they will be having a skirmish with 1B. With, Izumi asking what would be the point. With him saying that they want to make sure everyone's where they're supposed to be. Explaining that the classes are made to be different things. Saying that for, how would you put this? That they're ranked on how students are affected and in school affected. Explaining that not only do they have to be able to get in due to the entrance exam, but also keep their spots. So on big events like the UA Sports Festival that will be coming up in a few months, that could determine if they stay or go from the UA class. With Izumi proceeding to say, so you're basically the best students get the best, teacher and best things, while the other students need to work for it. Like a competitive way to do it. Aizawa would smirk, saying, yes. That. It gives them an incentive to do it. He would say it, and Izumi kind of thought that was smart. Give them an incentive. She just wanted to be a hero, but now knowing that she could be judged on how she does, she was going to put more gas in the system so she could work harder. That's a stupid metaphor. She would just work harder, basically, to just double sure that she's in 1A. Anyways, so saying that their exams will be or not exams, but the skirmish will be tomorrow. Explain that they have one day to prepare and get information on the other side. Just so they know, the Class 1B was just explained this and will have the same job until tomorrow. With Aizawa finishing his things, asking if everyone understands. Some people ask stupid questions like, oh, do we have to do this? And with Minette saying this, Aizawa just stared at him saying, you want to go to 1B? With Minette saying, no, I'll do it. And yeah, the only thing was, they found Class 1B immediately in front of their door at the end of their period. With Monoma trying to do some scare tactics, saying, "Oh, come on, how bad could they be?" With Izumi finally, getting up due to her having, more stuff than everyone, immediately got up with her hat on, looked at Monoma, and proceeded to say, "Excuse me," in a very rudeful way, with him saying, "Oh, how dare you? How disrespectful. Do you know who I am?" Where they're saying, "Yeah, a kid with a copy quirk who needs to fight another person with a quirk just to win." With them saying, "How did you?" I do my research before I go into high-ranking schools. And even so, I did my research before when I was here. Don't you think I read and researched all of you? Tatsu, hardening quirk, turns his body into iron, or a very strong material, and every time it breaks, when it comes back, it becomes stronger. Your quirk copy. You can only copy one quirk at a time, but you lack in skill and you don't know, and you don't even look like you know how to fight. She would explain a couple of more of their quirks that she's known, but she doesn't know all of them, obviously, but she knows a few that, kind of shock them. With Izumi smiling, saying, "I hope you do well on tomorrow's skirmish." Leaving. Monoma is baffled with some of the 1B students just like, "Holy mother of God, she's scary." And she had that of being she had those times where she can be kind of terrifying. With with the entirety of 1B somewhat shocked, it gave 1A the enough time to skim you away to the next class. So yeah. Finally, after a little bit of the day, 1B did find a little bit about 1A's quirks, just being that Bakugo's quirk is explosion, Minetta's quirk is sticky due to, one of the girls trying to hit. Well, actually, one of the girls in 1B kind of hit on Minetta, and he kind of gave most of their quirks up, even letting out that the person who scared them the shit out of, aka Izumi, was quirkless, which everyone thought, that is utter bullshit. But anyways, after a little more time, it was finally time, and Izumi came out ready. She was not going to act like this was some sort of, play. She was going to go in hard and fast. Don't you anyone say anything about that. I swear to God, that is actual term they say in Rainbow Six Siege. So, shush. But anyway, she would be smart, calculated, and know. And even, she had her sniper out, for obvious reasons. Now, they were in an area where it was in a city area. Now, it was to go against each other. Now, none of them were heroes or villains. It was just see who wins at the end. The task was to eliminate everyone from the other team. There were multiple ways, at least a couple of ways. One was wrapping a white rope around them and, that would call them out. Another one would be being unconscious due to exhaustion or being knocked out due to a, blunt force or something like that. And finally, it would be the final way to be getting out is by breaking a rule, by going either too far or, stuff like that. And yeah, 1B didn't, with Momo trying to get 1B together, but Bakugo, Kirishima were immediately running off. And everyone else kind of just skirmished away with Izumi going into a building. 1B was being a little more smart about it and, well, started actually playing strategically. Izumi realized that 1A was being stupid and 1B was being smart. So she took out her sniper rifle and made sure she had the, well, blunt rounds in it. The rounds that basically go poof when it hits someone. It doesn't hurt them, like go through them, but it's definitely a bullet that, well, makes a nice poof. And it's very, but it is very painful. It won't kill them, but it'll leave a mark. Izumi immediately goes to a window, setting up her sniper rifle, putting prongs down so her gun can stay properly secured there. She sees that 1B is being a little. Some of 1B is out in the open, immediately going with her high vantage points, not shooting, but just watching. She knows that eventually 1A will intercept them, and obviously they do. Ochako, Momo, and Kaminari goes to fight them. But they were still outnumbered 5-3. Kaminari was about to get hit in the back, but immediately something happened to the person who was trying to hit him. They were immediately hit in the head with something, well, white and dusty. But Denki didn't know what it was, but on the radio, someone proceeded to say, "Watch your six," with him just saying, "Thanks." Immediately, Izumi proceeded to take out another one, but after that, it was a, well, 3-on-3, but luckily Momo won against in her fight, and Dinky won against, and it was just a 1v1, so, yeah. Ochako didn't know how to fight, so that's why I left her out. So, yeah. Anyways, Izumi proceeded to, well, keep a close eye on top. She was making sure she moved every once in a while out of her hiding hole to go to another building using a zip line, so she wouldn't be in one spot. She hadn't used any of her traps yet, but she always made sure to check inside the building first before setting up. With her doing this 2 times. Actually, no, 3 times. But finally, Class 1B Kachan sent Tetsu and Monoma after her, with Monoma kind of being fed up about this, and wanting to ask her why she lied about her being quirkless. He knew it was a lie in his heart, for some reason. He thought, how could possibly a quirkless person get in? But obviously Izumi was smart enough to get in, and, well, after asking, well, and after getting a scholarship and a recommendation, oh yeah, she definitely got in. But anyways, eventually Monoma was about to go into the room, or, well, it was immediately, actually, Tetsu actually tries to go in first, but, well, obviously Izumi is ready. Not that she's still looking down the sky, but she immediately sees in a reflection of the mirror that was still there, Tetsu was barreling for her, and she heard the steps, immediately letting her gun go, dropping it down, immediately rolls out of the way, takes out her pistol, and then proceeds to unload on Tetsu. Tetsu takes the bullets rightfully so, with his hardening quirk being activated. She immediately says bullshit, with her saying, or bastard, with her immediately going out the window. Tetsu says, what the? But before he can look out the window, he immediately sees her zipline already ready. She made sure the zipline was ready if she needed to make a fast getaway. She immediately gets off the zipline early, jumping on a building that was in between the building she was on and the building she was going to, and starts booking it. Monoma proceeds to come in asking what happened, with Tetsu saying she ran, with him saying, what? Coward! With him saying, yeah, but then I hear, Beep, 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 with Tetsu looking at where the sniper was and realizing the bag that was there lying was a bomb. Immediately they heard beep and boom, saying the building now proceeded to not break, but you can tell a slight blast of, well, an explosion happened and they both were knocked out. With on the comms saying, with Izumi saying, sniper down, unable to give high ground support anymore. Been spotted, sniper is gone. With Kaminari saying, understood. Kaminari and Izumi were the only ones really using the comms to communicate, so they were the more smarter ones of the group. With Izumi asking where were they, or Kaminari asking with Izumi asking where were they, with Kirishima Kaminari explaining where they are, and her saying on my way. With Izumi quickly running, as well as emptying her unloaded pistol, which was just empty due to her shooting all 12 bullets at, well, Tetsu's face, body, and leg. But anyways, she eventually gets to Kaminari and proceeds to ask, so, how many of them are left? Tetsu saying, we're the last ones left. With it was just her, Momo, and Kaminari. But they have at least, well, 15, not 15, but 10 students left on their side. We were saying, motherfucker, this is why we have to stick as a team. With Momo and Kaminari agreeing with her comment. Anyways, after a little bit, they finally, with Momo saying they shouldn't be out in the open, with both Kaminari and Izumi agreeing. They were immediately proceed to go into a building and try to formulate a plan. While they're making a plan, let's skip over to All Might, Aizawa, and Nezu and Vlad King's perspective. Vlad King saying, I think I should be in charge of Class 1A. With Aizawa saying, it's not done yet. There's still 3 of my students left. With Nezu saying, agreed. Plus, those are the smartest that survived so far. With All Might saying, they're outnumbered. They'll surely lose. Agreeing with Vlad. With her saying, maybe Izumi should be put into Class 1B, With Aizawa saying, no, definitely not. She gave recon support as well as high ground support with her sniper rifle. She covered Izumi Kaminari's back as well as the group he was in with Momo and Uraka. Those 4 shouldn't be taken out. The only reason why Uraka was taken out was just because her lack of experience and, well, her vomiting caused her to, well, pass out. It was a limitation of her quirk, not her fault. But we'll work on that. Though the rest can be questioned. Bakugo definitely needs anger management class, and, well, Kaminari is loyal to the fault. Don't know how Kaminari likes the Bakugo, but that's not my problem. Anyways, with back to well, now we head back to Izumi, Kaminari and Momo. Kaminari says that plan may work. Trap them, set a ambush. Then with Izumi saying, yeah. Say, can you make the bullets I use? Asking Momo. With Momo saying, as long as I know the compound. With her saying, well, it's this and this compound I mainly use. Explaining that gunpowder is made by this and this compound. With her saying, how do you know what gunpowder is made of? With her saying, I like guns, she would state calmly. With her saying, alright. With her proceed to make bullets, as well as with Izumi then proceeding to fill up her magazines that were now emptied. Well, with her also getting a couple more. Izumi then asks for a, well, duffel bag with several small explosives. Momo proceeded to give her a small explosive. These wouldn't cause much damage, but they would definitely cause a diversion. Izumi was the diversion while Kaminari waited as with Momo. Izumi said, "Alright, we'll have to do this quick and fast. Be ready." With with both of them just nodding. "Alright, move. I'll draw them to you." With Izumi immediately bolting out the door, running in the middle of the street. Immediately, well, Class 1B catches Jean hearing her loudly steps, making, you could see with her running cowardly. Immediately, they start trying to chase after her, but Izumi starts quietly, with Izumi just running, making sure none of them can catch her. She's being smart. She's going through alleyways, going up buildings smartly. She went on a rooftop once, immediately jumped down due to, well, one of them almost catching her. She left booby traps like the bombs behind her, quickly activating them, but it was more exploding at their feet, but didn't knock them out, just dazed them for a moment. Enough time to get her away. With enough time, but can't speak. Giving Izumi enough time to get away. She was at it with her finally running out of, well, those explosives and finally letting go of the bag, dropping it. She immediately proceeded to smile, with all of them surrounding her now, with all of them asking, "Why are you smiling?" Izumi would just state, "You fell for rule number. You fell. You fell into a trap, and you didn't even realize it." Immediately, Kaminari came out and immediately shocked everyone. Izumi would proceed to immediately lay down on the ground, making sure none of the lightning hit her. Kaminari took about four of them out, with then Momo proceeding to use a paintball gun that she made that seemed to be very basic, but enough to shoot them in the face, blinding them, for Izumi then proceed to grab her SMG and shoot them all. Afterwards, the last one was basically, there was only one left, and he kind of just ran away with Izumi, just proceeding to sigh, and said, I hate when they run. Immediately running with Kaminari and Izumi running, saying, "He's the last one, right?" With Kaminari saying no, and saying, "Yeah, I think so." With this guy saying, "I surrender, don't hit me." With her saying, "You can't surrender, dumbass. You have to lose. Just come here and it'll be painless." She would stay with Kaminari saying, "Yeah, I know a spot that can knock you out about with only one chop." Him saying, that's a thing." He would run away scared, with Izumi saying, "You know what? Screw it." Immediately taking out her SMG, shooting him in the legs, with him saying, "Ah!" With him proceeding just to say, "No, not the face, not the face." With Izumi just sighing, saying, "You made me run." With her just shooting him twice in the face, bang, bang. With him being knocked out. And on all the comms, you can hear, "Class 1A, team wins." Then you go to the observer's office with All Might and Black King, mouth all the way down to the ground, saying, "How the hell?" With All Might just chuckling, saying, "They may have gotten most of them, but they fell right into a trap. And, well, they paid the price." With Aizawa just smirking. Nezu was in his mind just smiling, but he had to be neutral, seeing he was the principal. He couldn't be he couldn't pick favorite, but in his mind, he had a favorite. It was Class 1A. Though maybe he may have to change some things around, or maybe not, seeing Class 1B still lost. So, yeah. But anyways, a couple hours, an hour later, all the students are back awake, and some are proceeding to wash their eyes due to paintball in their eyes. Some are, well, dusting their face off with white dust. With some of them asking, "So how did I get out? I just remember everything. I just remember getting knocked out." And Izumi proceeded to say, "I sniped you in the back of the head." To at least some of them, and with them saying, "Wait, you had a sniper?" "Yep. Though I think I have to go get it." Or with Mono just saying, You mean this? Seeing a now busted sniper rifle with the barrel being bent due to the explosion she set off, with her saying, "Oh, you motherfucker." With her saying, "Thanks." With him saying, "So, you really are quirkless, huh?" With her saying, "Yes, what's it to you?" Nothing. Just shocked is all. How could they let a quirkless loser into UA? They're saying, "Well, this loser just kicked your entire class's ass." But congrats on taking out most of the stupid ones. You're saying your class is stupid? I'm saying most of them were stupid and running off separate. With her saying, though you did lay a good trap for Todoroki. That was smart. You may have qualities of being a strategist, but you're more arrogant than any of them. You're the most arrogant person. Actually, the second most. Bakugo is more arrogant than you, she would state. Hence her saying, "Who's Bakugo?" Whereas you can hear someone saying, "Ow! That fucking burns." Or saying, "The one who just yelled." Them saying, "Oh, that guy." With her saying, "You put up a good fight. Though I don't think you're expecting the bomb, right?" Her, the, with Monoma saying, "No, why would you have a bomb in there?" But they're saying, "Well, it was supposed to be a trap, but I had to improvise and activate it." You, with her, with her saying, "Oh, oh, and that also had a lot of my shit in it." Ah, you motherfucker. She would stay saying, "That's gonna have to get replaced." With him saying, "Why? What was in there?" "Oh, a spare sidearm, a pit, some ammunition, that bomb. Actually, another bomb that I didn't set off, but I think exploded too, which is why that sounded so goddamn loud. Even with even with my headset on," she would state. Anyways, with her raising her hand and saying, "You fought well," with him nodding, saying, "You as well, even though you're a quirkless loser," she would state, "And you too for being an arrogant son of a bitch." Them both chuckling, and some respect was formed. Aizawa was in the corner in a sleeping bag, just smiling. That he may want Monoma in his class. He was smart. He led a lot of students to victory in that skirmish. Anyways, um, a little time passes, and you can see Izumi proceeding to fix the bent barrel while replacing it. You can see part of it's now just half of the sniper rifle has come off just to fix the barrel. With basically, well, how should I put this? With You could see that with someone knocking on the door, and Momo came in with Izumi saying, "Oh, hey Momo." With her, with her seeing Momo in her pajamas, she was in comfortable clothing too. It was nighttime, so they were they had their cozies on. Momo asked if she's trying to fix that sniper. Her saying, "Pretty much." With her proceeding to hold up said new sniper part piece, which was the barrel, and saying, "Yeah, if only I could get this thing on." She would stayed with her saying, "What do you mean?" Or saying, "Well, I have to take off multiple pieces," but with her proceeding to raise a broken part or broken tool, saying, "This was the only thing that could get it off." With Momo just chuckling, saying, "Would you like one?" Her saying, "Sure." Momo proceeding to give her the same part. It was an Allen key, so it was not like a difficult part to make. With Izumi finally taking off and said, "You're very handy." With her taking off the bent barrel. With the moment saying, "Well, could call me Mrs. Handyman, or Handywoman." With Izumi chuckling, saying, "Oh, really?" Her standing up, looking at Momo, and Momo proceeding to stop for a moment, saying, "Yeah." With Izumi saying, "What? What?" Blushing. With her saying, "No." With her saying, "Oh, don't worry, I swing both ways." With her saying, "I wasn't thinking that. Come on." with Izumi proceeding to look at her, with Momo proceeding just to look her up and saying, you just looked me up and down. Of course you're bi. They're saying, I'm not bi. They're saying, oh, you're Les? Um, with her chuckling thing, I grew up with no one in my life. I knew how to keep a secret. You know, with her proceeding to go closer to her, putting her, well, faces close, with her, not, how would I explain it? With Izumi getting closer to her saying, you know, if you ever want to do something, but before that, you can, well, Izumi, or not Izumi, Momo immediately just starts kissing her. Izumi kind of being shocked, but immediately, goes in and, after their brief, 30-second kiss, they both stop, look at each other, and immediately both proceeded to, say that just happened. With Izumi slightly blushing, but with her trying to conceal her emotions, and Momo is not concealing her emotions at all. She has a bright red face, and her mind's like, I just kissed a girl, I just kissed a girl, I just kissed a girl. With Izumi just saying, that just happened again, and Izumi proceeds to say, so that happened out loud. We're saying, yeah. With basically Izumi just saying, so do we not speak of this to anyone else? I think so. You not sure what, you didn't like it? I was like, no, I loved it. With then her realizing what she just said, and she says, ooh, you loved it. One round two. Izumi would say, still blushing, but in a very flirty mood. Momo would still be with Momo getting an even redder face. It's like, no, I'm fine. But with Izumi knowing that she's just kind of still in shock, she proceeds just to sigh, saying, you know what? Izumi would proceed to just stand her up, would just proceed to face her and put her in her room. She was so shocked that she was like standing still, like she was so in her head at the moment. And by the time she realized she was in her room, Izumi already left. And she's like, oh, she put me back in my room. The next day was very awkward with Izumi and Momo. Both of them were acting weird around each other, with Momo slightly blushing, and with Izumi not knowing how to talk with Momo, being very awkward talking with her. So, yeah. That is yeah. Anyways, I believe that's enough for this part 2 video. Just a brief look over the video. I went over the whole skirmish with 1B, having a little early. Then in canon, also the dorms got headed early. Next video will be doing the UA or the USJ event. So yeah, and maybe the sports festival if I get that far in. So yeah, Momo and Izumi are just kind of kissed and did stuff, and yeah, that happened. And basically, there was newfound respect with Monoma and Izumi, and yeah, Bakugo burnt his hand in a very slight way. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. I do hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you all get the vaccine, preferably Pfizer, and I hope you all wear a mask. But that ain't up to me, it's up to you. So do what you wish. But your actions will have their own consequences in your life. So yeah. Goodbye.